I realized that what is normal for me is potentially revolutionary for some people. And in saying this, I sometimes get into this thing, it's like, I don't have anything important to say to anybody. Sometimes I have that voice inside my head. Or I don't have anything of value to share. So I know this is all like not true thinking. And whenever I do share something from my heart space, I get a lot of really beautiful, wonderful feedback. And not that I'm attached to that. It's just really nice to know that the socialness of the media is effective for reaching out and touching people in an inspiring way, which I believe is really beneficial, the beneficial part of Instagram and the medias and everything like that. So, and in saying that, a part of my journey thus far has been one where I'm in a really beautiful, loving relationship all of a sudden. And there's a lot that go into that because I feel like the medias has seen me go through like multiple relationships over the years. And there's been a lot, that's a learning curve. That's a learning process. And it might seem like I don't know anything about relationships because I've done a lot of them, and so it might appear that none of them have been successful, but for me they all have been like legitimately successful for the fact that I have gained some really powerful, valuable information and have come out of every one of those loving myself more and more deeply committed to who I am and what it is that I truly want in my life. Or yeah, what I truly want from specifically male energy in my life. And I do identify as a female person, and I've only had long-term and like sensual relationships with men, although I've never been opposed to having a sensual relationship with a woman should that happen. It just never has. So this year we are closing it out on a fucking bang. Okay, I can't even believe it. Feels like it was like 5 years in 1 year. I got out of a really non-enhancing situation. I moved once last year, twice this year, and I let go of a habit I've had for like ever. And I apologize, like if I only present my best self on the interwebs. I've been smoking marijuana and tobacco in a spliff form for years. I mean, not when I was pregnant, I was totally sober. That was like the only time I've only been totally sober from the marijuana and tobacco, because I never really liked tobacco by itself, and I never really liked marijuana by itself, although I've been known to like smoke a cigarette every now and again. I quit 100% this year, like in the summer. I even forget what day. I'm so not attached to that kind of situation anymore. And in fact, I guess it just depends on what level of sobriety we're talking about. Like I never had a problem with alcohol. I just never preferred to drink alcohol ever. Like I've always just wanted to be stoned. And I just don't like the feeling of being drunk or having alcohol in my system. That makes me feel automatically nauseous and sick. And so I just never did that. But yeah, like the weed thing, and not that I have anything against marijuana for people who it's like beneficial for right now. It's just something that I felt like I was ready to let go of, and so I did. And it was amazing to me because sometimes I would smoke the weed and I'd be like, oh, why am I smoking this? Like that did not make me feel better. Sometimes it would. Sometimes it was like coffee and a spliff. It's like the most amazing, magical way to wake up. And a lot of the time it wasn't, and it's like takes time to roll. And so it's just, I'm really happy to not have that in my universe or in my vibration anymore. I do have also the intention to be letting go of caffeine, along with my love, who is gonna, by the time he's 33, is intentional on being totally sober. So I am inspired to do that lit train as well. Like, fuck, like I want to be on the same vibration as him. I usually like to be on the same vibration. Oh, and I also want to mention that this year, okay, so when we talk about sobriety, like there are levels of that. There's totally different levels. And so I have been experimenting with microdosing, mushrooms and LSD, which has been life-changing. And I also feel like that I'm not going to do that either, less and less. Like I feel like I really went deep in my experience with that, and I did that, and I don't need to do that anymore. It is fucking fun though, and I do suggest it to anybody who is transitioning off of alcohol or marijuana to do the microdosing of the psychedelics. And if that seems crazy to some people, it's really not. If you go and do like into the science of it, or even like fuck science, like science is great, whatever. That's like our, you know, our new religion these days is science, and I love science. It's great, and I am like an N equals 1 kind of person. Like I do my own experience with things, and I feel like that's what I am intentional on sharing more of, is my experience with things, including substances, which I'm going to transition after January, and it's just going to be food and herbs are going to be like my substances, and yoga and I'm going to be looking for different ways to get lit, because those are just kind of like, even coffee has been like one of those things that it's a good one of probably our most socially acceptable drug is caffeine. Yeah, so no coffee soon. And I'm not doing weed or alcohol, and then no psychedelics soon. And then I'll just be on food and herbs as medicine, as well as my yogic and tantric practices that I am really excited to share. Like I get like excited when I talk about tantra, and I don't even like to use that word because it's kind of diluted in today's society, and people think it's just like about sex, and it's not. It's a whole mindset, and yeah, it does have to do about sex, because basically everything has to do with how we relate, our way of relating in the world, and coming from a place of like what is our intention. So that's like the bottom line of everything. When getting into any sort of situation, it's like, what is my intention? And so my intention is to dig deep in my soul, to dig deep in my purpose, to keep asking myself the questions of like, why am I here? How can I be of service to everybody? And and how can I better put myself out there to be of service without being like, hey, you guys want to buy a session or take my yoga class? I mean, I've been so blessed because like the women who show up to my yoga classes now, they were coming to my class like years ago, and I can't even believe they were so excited to find out that I was teaching again. It was so beautiful to see them, and I was so happy to see them, and it's just like I love sharing the space with people who are excited to be there, because I only want to share in everybody's highest fuck yeah. Like if it's not a fuck yeah for you to come see me for a one-on-one session or come to my yoga class, I don't want to force anybody to do anything that's not a high fuck yeah for them. And I don't feel like I'm really here to sell anything per se. It's just like I'm more here to introduce the opportunities and to offer all of these things that have been, and to offer and share magic. Basically what my website is, yoga, sex, magic. And I don't share sex. I just maybe share information on that. I just like that word, sex. I think everybody does. It's like a trigger word, like in a good and a not good way. And I like talking about it because I feel like there's a new paradigm happening where we are here to re-educate ourselves and our children about what our sexual energy is beyond just like getting off, and beyond just for procreation and the power and potential of what that energy can be used for when we're being intentional about it. So I feel like that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to get on here and share a little bit about what is happening in my life, and that is really just the tip of the proverbial iceberg that we're floating on this collective wave of consciousness. And I feel like a lot of us are going through very similar things. A lot of us are feeling like this time situation is speeding up, like way speeding up. And I know that I always feel like, oh shit, like I just woke up and now it's fucking time for dinner and time for bed, and what the fuck is happening here? And this is why I feel like, wow, like connection and intimacy, and I don't just mean like dick in a hole intimacy, I mean like real heartfelt intimacy, like share your heart with me, like I want to see who you are. And I love everyone in my life who has felt comfortable to share their authenticity, and I am intentional on sharing my authenticity and holding a space for friends, family, and everyone in the tribe, whoever, holding space for you to feel like you don't have to be somebody that's not authentic with me. So anyway, that is all. If you haven't checked out Tate's video that he did yesterday, like straight up channeled for a brother asking about like, what do I do? What do I do with my energy when I want to play with female energy, but I don't want to be seen as a guy who just wants to have sex? Like, I don't like that judgment. But anyway, so he did a really great video based on his experience, and he's so wise. And I totally adore him. Anyway, so check that out. Send me a message if there's a video that you would like to have me do, or you would like to see me do, or there is a question you would like me to answer based on my experience and opinions, because that's what I have, is I have experience and opinions. And I have quite a bit of it, actually. Could be valuable. Anyway, I love you all. I hope everyone is having an amazing December, and that's it. Namaste.